Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to this online classes. We are in the book of Proverbs. Recently, we have started the author and the dead of writing. Now, today we'll go for the title of the book. The title of the book. Okay, let's go to your notes. Proverbs obviously gets its name from its contents, short sayings or maxims that convey truth in a pointed and pithy way. The Hebrew word for proverb from masiel, okay, there is a typing mistakes, masiel, to be like, represent, means parallel or similar or a comparison. It refers to a comparison or simile as underlying a moral maxim. As a piety saying, a proverb centers in a comparisons or an antithesis. The title comes from the fact this writing is a compendium of moral and spiritual instruction designed to enable one to live wisely. Okay, title of the book. Proverbs obviously gets its name from its contents. Okay, so the name Proverbs gets its name Proverbs from the contents. Okay, from the contents. What are the contents here? Short sayings or maxims. What is maxims? Okay, if you want to write the meaning of maxims, a sentence expressing general truths. Okay, a sentence expressing general truths. A sentence expressing general truths. Maxims. Okay, the content is, it is short sayings. It is not a long saying or the vast saying. It is a short sayings or a maxims, a sentence expressing general truths. Okay, in one sentences or every sentences that is in the book of Proverbs, it is a sentence that express the general truth. General truth means it is a truth for all. It is not truth for one person. It is absolute truth. Okay, general truth for every one of us that convey truth in a pointed and piety way. Okay, what do you understand by piety? Okay, piety way. Piety means a concise and expressive. Concise and expressive. Concise and expressive. That means a small sentence, but it conveys lot of meanings. Okay, a small sentence, but it conveys lot of meanings. Okay, that we call it concise. Okay, piety way. The Hebrew word for proverb is uh, maskil, or whatever, to be like, represent, meaning um, parallel. Okay, it goes line in line or similar or comparison. One line compared to another one. As we have learned that the Hebrew poetry is a parallelism. It is not, it doesn't go with rhythm, but it goes with parallelism. Okay, or it goes in the couplet forms. That means one line and the other line expresses the other line, or it talks about a comparison or sometimes it contrasts. Okay, so that is the writing of the Hebrew poetry. So it refers to a comparison or simile as underlying the moral maxim. Okay, it refers to a comparison or simile as underlying the moral maxim. Okay, as a piety saying or a small words but a concise, but it is very much expressive. Okay, that is what piety, as a piety saying, a proverb centers in the comparison or an antithesis. Okay, so proverbs usually lies or refers or its center in comparison and antithesis. Antithesis means a person or thing that is directly opposite to one another. Okay, a person or a thing that is directly opposite to one another. Okay, that we call it antithesis. Okay, antithesis. So proverbs center with comparison or an antithesis. Antithesis means quite opposite, or in other words, it is contrast. Okay, contrast. But by that, it gives a lot of meanings. Okay, but it gives a lot of meanings. Okay, so the title comes from the fact this writing is a compendium. Compendium is a collection of facts from the subjects. Okay, collection of facts from the subjects. That is compendium. So the title comes from the fact this writing is a collection of facts from the subjects of the moral and spiritual instruction designed to enable one to live wisely. So the title comes from the fact that is collected from the fact of the subject, and that it instructs the moral and spiritual to design our life to live wisely. Okay, that is what we get the title Proverbs. Okay, Proverbs. I don't know in your language. Sometimes the people says the wise man saying, and this is the saying of the wise. But in our language, Proverbs is we should say it is a piety saying. Okay, a piety saying, or the core of the word, or the core of the core meaning of the word. Okay, that is what proverb means in our language. Okay, so that is the title of the book of Proverbs. Okay, I am summarizing. The title of the book comes from its contents, and the contents is, it is a small writings or a small saying, but it is the collection of all the facts that put together, and then it is very much piety, or it contains a lot of meanings or a lot of things to convey in that small word. So these are all wise men saying, or these are wisely advised that instructs our moral and our spiritual to design our life to live wisely. So from there, okay, the title comes Proverbs. Okay, so the proverb means a parallel, similar, or comparison. Okay, that is the meaning of Proverbs. Now let's come back to now let's go to theme and purpose. Theme and purpose. Okay, let's go through your notes. As suggested by the title and the meaning of the term proverb, the theme and purpose of the book is, if you want to underline, if you have the printed notes, if you want to underline, please underline this. Is wisdom for living through special instruction on every conceivable issue of life. Okay, as suggested by the title and the meaning of the term proverb, that theme and purpose of the book is underline wisdom for living through special instruction on every conceivable issue of life. Now, the theme and the purpose of this book is it is for our it is the book that instructs us to live wisely through special instruction on every conceivable issue of life. Conceivable means the thing that you can conceive, the things that you can take it to your heart in every issue of life. Here are some examples. Folly, your enemies, how to deal with them, how to live wisely along with your family, how to deal with sins, how to deal with goodness, wealth, poverty, the tongue, pride, humility, justice, family, parent, children's discipline, vengeance, strife, gluttony, love, laziness, friends, life, and death. No book is more practical in terms of wisdom for daily living than Proverbs. Okay, there is no any other books in the world in terms of practical living for wisdom than the book of Proverbs. Okay, so Proverbs instruct us so that we can live wisely in every day of our lives. Okay, in every day of our life. So it talks about almost everything about our practical living. Okay, the words that we speak, the way that we behave, and the thought that we think, the eyes that we see, the works that we work, in every areas of our life, the book of Proverbs instruct us. Therefore, the theme of the purpose and the purpose of the book is wisdom for living through special instruction on every conceivable issue of life. Okay. Now, the fundamental theme is the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge that we find in first chapter of the first paragraph of verse 7. Okay, the fundamental theme is fear of the Lord is the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Okay. The absence of a fear of God leads to an unbridled and foolish life. Okay, the unfear, or if you don't fear God, okay, if you don't fear God, or the absence of the fear of God leads to an unbridled. What is unbridled? What is bridle? Bridle, the meaning of bridle is a horse or an ox. Okay, they will bridle in their nose with a rope, and they will tie a rope on their nose so that that bridle, by bridling that will control the horse or an ox. Okay, and that talks about a life of discipline. Okay, a life of discipline. So if you don't fear God, okay, you will not live a life of discipline, but you will live a life of foolishness. Okay. That is the instruction here. Okay. Now, to fear the Lord is to stand in awe of His holy character and power. So the fear of the Lord, okay, the fear of the Lord is to stand reverent of His holy character and power. At the same time, Proverbs shows that true wisdom leads to the fear of the Lord. Now, when you would truly seek the wisdom, actually you are seeking, or you are starting to fear God. So the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So how do you fear God? By living in the life of God fear. Now, in Hebrew, the word fear and respect, okay, the fear and respect, it interchangeably used. Okay, so when we say the fear of the Lord, that means when you respect God and live. Now, how do you respect God? By living wisdom. So when you start respecting someone, actually you are starting to live as a life of a wise person. Okay, so therefore it is said the fear of the Lord is the beginning of the knowledge, or the beginning of the wisdom. So the fear of the Lord, the one who respect God, is the beginning of the knowledge or the wisdom. Okay, now the key words. Okay, the key word is wisdom, wise, etc., occurring some 110 times. Also important and related to wisdom are the terms instruction. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, instruction and thought, teach, together occurring some 23 times. Okay. Um, Key verses, then key chapter, then Christ as seen in the book of Proverbs, we will see in the next class. Okay, your subject is very much concise, and we will finish up on time, so don't worry. Okay, we'll go slowly, and you go through the book of all the poetical books, and in the book of these 5 poetical books, if you have any doubts there, you can clarify your doubts. Okay, you have so many doubts, I know. Like when you start reading the book of Proverbs, sometimes you don't understand the culture, and sometimes you don't understand what they are saying. Even me, it is very much difficult for me to actually interpret all the scripture portion from, especially from the book of Psalms, or the book of the poetical books. Therefore, you go through it 2-3 times, and then try to solve every problems as far as you can, so that you will not have any problem when someone asks you about these poetical books. Okay, we are not learning for the book's sake, and don't satisfied by these notes. Okay, these notes are just a guidebook for you. Okay, so most of the thing is that you have to do by yourself. Okay, so research, study it, and then know for yourself. God bless you. Have a nice time. See you next week. Goodbye.